7 more teams and 35 cars go head to head. It's the Junkyard Joust Custom Tournament. Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Yonda. And we've got quite the matchup going this time. A couple of these competitors we've seen before, but most of them are completely new. Let's take a closer look. Team Beaverworks is back and he's got some muscle. These cars are tough. The Budo Heads are an interesting mix of vehicles and they've got some contraptions. Mutual of Omaha's Saturday Morning. These cartoon-themed cars look like good survivors. Rollin' Gold. A good mix of survivors here, and they're very shiny. Another team that pushes the boundaries of custom car creation, Square Hole. Star Cars, brought to you by Rocket Customs. Fantastic paint jobs. Team made up of extra cars that were sent to me, the Trash Thrashers. We're ready to joust. The Track Buffer is sponsored by Track Buffer LLC. Let's smash our way into round 1, starting off with Saturday Morning. Dinobot Slag, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Dinobot takes position, actually goes a little bit curbside there. We'll see how that plays out. After this hit from the 59 Chevy Wagon for Budo Head, sponsored by Emo Dingo, driven by Budo Head. A nice hit by the Chevy, knocks Evil Weevil off the track. Dinobot locks it back in. Next hit coming down, Cobra Kai for the Star Cars. Cobra Kai hits that rolling ball on the back of the Chevy and drives up on top of it, so that was successful. First up for Square Hole, Creature from the Block Lagoon, sponsored by DYW Production Labs. Cobra Kai gets muscled forward and Creature flips off the track, can't stay stable, trying to escape. Track Hammer's up for the Trash Thrashers, sponsored by Moo Cow Horse Farm. Cobra Kai gets hurled off the track by the Track Hammer, and Track Hammer almost gets underneath the back of the Chevy, can't quite pull it off though, and it's curbside. Tax Dodge is up for Rollin' Gold, sponsored by Starcore Industries. Tax Dodge slams into the pile, pushes them aside. Track Hammer kind of gets under the Chevy. They are split. We're going to see some cars fly on the next hit from Agent Y, sponsored by Brendan Walsh for Team Beaverworks. Agent Y does the splitting indeed, a double takedown. Track Hammer goes over, so does the Chevy, and the van gets pushed up on Dino. Wow, that was a devastating hit from Agent Y. Spike for Saturday Morning, sponsored by Sauce Automotive Sachet and Buffet. 60 grams, very compact, bounces off the back of Agent Y, but stays upright more or less. Can't quite escape the track though, along with his partner Dinobot. Next up for Budo, Highway Hauler, sponsored by Tribbles Troublemakers and driven by Donkey Kong. 118 grams smash, and it only succeeds in taking itself out, unfortunately. Knocks all the cars around, but they all make recoveries. Highway Hauler flips over next to the triangle. Up now, the Green Tomato. Agent Y takes a hit from the Green Tomato, bounces back down the track. They both stay locked in. And here comes a half circle, the Sea Rescue Block, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Sea Rescue Block hurls the Green Tomato all over the place, but nice recovery, flipping and flopping around, lands it upright, and now the block is locked in. Block lock. Dipper's up next, sponsored by Chome. Dipper gets underneath the Sea Rescue Block and lifts it up in the air. It stays level for the moment. Cheddarbox up now, sponsored by Jason's Bits Boys. Cheddarbox knocks the block off the track and over, sideways, and out. Nice takedown by Cheddarbox. Beaver E up now, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. Beaver E pops underneath Cheddarbox and it goes flying, lands upside down, and then can't make a recovery, just ends up sideways. Hits a height of 6 on the way to the ground, where it is eliminated. And Dipper looks in trouble. Dungeons and Dragon Blaster, sponsored by Miskatonic Automotive Club. Blaster takes down Dipper, flipping it over, and now Agent Y is in trouble from its own teammate, the Beaver E. Here comes the 79 Ford F-150 with implement attached, sponsored by Reaper EOD, driven by MAP. A devastating hit from the Ford F-150 in a couple different ways. 2 of them takedowns, one of them, the implement, just goes flying all over the place. but it was effective as Agent Y and the Dragon Blaster are taken down. Now that F-150's got a little protective bumper in back. Next up for the Star Cars, come on, get happy. Looks a little Piet Mondrian inspired. Ooh, the Star Cars can't be too happy about that. The car just biffs it straight into the back of the Ford and falls off the track. Next up for Square Hole, Blork Lift, sponsored by Chorgoth the Infinite Horror. Blork Lift blorks into the back of the F-150, and not much of a hit really, but it's still alive for the moment. Gonna have to take a hit from Beef Lightning, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Beef Lightning sends that block into the sky. Man, that thing just goes all up in the air. Cannot make a landing, tough for a block to really land it. Hits a 7, almost an 8 on the way over. And another elimination in that run. The Ford F-150 just gets disasterized, thrown off the track. Solid hit from Beef. High Life up now for Rolling Gold, sponsored by Pick Your Sticker. 108 gram bus has a little bit better luck than Come On Get Happy. Pushes Beef Lightning up on the top of Beaver E and stays locked in. The Beaver Hammer, sponsored by Dr. Gonzo. Kaboom! The Beaver Hammer comes down, and so does Beef Lightning. Gets pushed around a little bit, wrestled into a sideways position. Will it stay like that? We'll see. High Life gets pushed off the track, but stays level. It's Darkwing Duck and Roll, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Darkwing Duck and Roll, nice hit, finishes off Beef Lightning. And High Life tips, looking pretty close to 45 right there. Big Air Bel Air, sponsored by Jesus and driven by Declan. Big Air Bel Air pushes into the line, kind of solidifies it a little bit as the Beaver Hammer gets pushed off. I hope Darkwing Duck's cape doesn't get damaged. Here comes Plan B. Plan B hits the line and goes curbside, a little bit vulnerable right there. No eliminations on that hit. And now it's time for Winneblocko, sponsored by Sicken. Ooh, and Plan B is gonna have to come up with a new plan. It is now sideways off the track and out. Winneblocko makes a nice roll to a recovery. This car could be a good one for Square Hole. Stubby's up now, sponsored by Sean's Toy Room. It's 102 grams from that tiny thing. A huge hit from Stubby. The Bel Air bounces backwards, goes sideways with the force of that hit. And then Stubby goes sideways as well and maybe takes itself out. We'll see. Next hit will be provided by Shellin' It, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Shellin' It just succeeds in putting Stubby back upright again. Pretty nice recovery. We'll see if it stays like that. Here comes a big hit. It's the Beaver Muth 178, sponsored by Farty Marty. As expected, a massive hit, and Shellin' It thrown off the track. Tries to make a recovery, but gets stuck. There's a lot of places to get trapped in right now, and Shellin' It definitely gets trapped. Turtle Shells just not having the luck they used to have in the Joust. Speaking of Turtle Shells, here's the TMN Turtle Shell, sponsored by Hey Hey's Hatchback Hanger. Ooh, Turtle Shell gets launched all the way into the crates off the Beaver Ramp. Hits a height of 7 on the way over there. Man, that was a nice jump. Lands it or does it? That is looking pretty close to 45 degrees. Oh boy, did we lose another Turtle Shell? Porsche 935 up next, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover, driven by Bunky Kong. The Porsche takes the jump and does a great job of keeping it low, flips all the way over, but manages to plant it, and that's gonna be a survive. Here comes General Mayhem, can't wait to see this thing fly. Yeehaw indeed! General Mayhem gets all the way over to the crates and makes a nice landing. Classic Duke Boys maneuver, makes it up to a height of 6 and then lands it. And unlike in the show, the car is still functional. If Solaire was a block, it would be Block Air. Sponsored by Price X Private Parts. Block Air hits the ramp but gets stuck on it, and this might just shut down that ramp for the next few cars coming down. Here's a tiny trash truck, Fly, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. And Fly does not fly, ironically, hits the back of Block Air and clogs up the track a little bit more. Lucky Duck now, sponsored by Judy Collins. Lucky Duck slams Fly off the track. Fly cannot make a recovery, cannot fly out of there, and that was a nice elimination. Final car of the round, Agent Zed, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Agent Zed takes a shot at Lucky Duck, but the Duck remains lucky and stays upright enough to survive till the next round. And there were 17 eliminations in that round. It was devastating. That's over half the field. Two teams really took it extra hard in this round. But taking a look at the aftermath, every team is still in it. Beaverworks only lost 1. Roland Gold and Square Hole each lost 2. Star Cars down to 2. Trash Thrashers and Budo Heads took the biggest hits, 4 losses apiece. And Saturday Morning only lost 1. Round 2, here we go. Agent Zed. Zed gets in position, gonna be hard to move that car off the track. Dinobot Slag gives him a little nudge and they are both locked in up the front. A punch from Tax Dodge and Dinobot Slag pushed up on the top. Agent Zed, precarious, quite precarious. Creature from the Block Lagoon slams into Tax Dodge and flips over. Dino escapes, and now that triangle shape could create another ramp with wheels on it. General Mayhem tries to take that ramp, but this time is foiled, can't do it, and is sitting on the track in a very bad position. And the 64 Grand Porsche has it in for General Mayhem, knocks it, spirals off the track upside down. That car's out. The little chaotic ball of energy known as Stubby slams into the line on the way down. Look at this. Sort of does a wheelie, just bouncing all over the place. Doesn't take anyone out. In fact, rights Creature. Beaver E takes a shot at Stubby. Stubby flips over and survives it. So does Tax Dodge. And that Porsche is looking good too. Spike forces Beaver E underneath Agent Zed, but Agent Zed does a nice roll over to a recovery. Close one. And now Spike curbside. High Life sends Spike tumbling. Spike makes a great recovery, and so does Beaver E, popping out of position and basically escaping. Spike proving surprisingly agile. Block Air locks into place behind High Life. The Green Tomato drives into position, nowhere to go with that block right there, so he just parks it. Ooh, another huge hit from Beaver Muth, and Green Tomato, wow, just gets broken from its position, flipping over, reaching a height of 7 on the way over to the crates, bounces off Beaver E, and makes a great recovery, keeping Star Cars in this match. Important recovery. Darkwing Duck and Cape take the ramp, land up in the safety area after a rebound, and what a great recovery by Darkwing Duck. Hits a 7 as well, a lot of cars hitting that height. Beavermouth likes to send cars up to about that height. Looks like the Cape is still okay. Lucky Duck takes the ramp and basically does the same thing as Darkwing Duck. We've got two Duck and Rolls right next to each other now. Duck and Rolls proving very good at this. Hits a height of 6, not quite the same as Darkwing Duck, but height doesn't matter, it's only the recovery, and they both nailed it. Winneblocko takes the ramp and flips over in a very awkward position, foiled from making a recovery. There's nowhere to turn over to. Still a chance that car could recover, but we'll see. The Beaver Hammer dives into the Ducks and smacks them around a little bit as it flips into position and makes a nice recovery. Good landing after a big old flip. TM and Turtle Shell proving that some Turtle Shells still have what it takes. Wow, look at the height on that one. Did it make it up higher than a 7 this time? Yes, it did. A height of 8. Wow, the highest jump today performed by a Turtle Shell, which then makes a great recovery. That's the performance you want from your Turtle Shell. That was the final car of round 2. Only 2 eliminations in round 2 after that slaughter in the first round. Almost nothing in this one. Looks like Stubby will survive the round according to the 90-degree front-back rule. And a quick measurement on Lucky Duck. Looks like Lucky Duck is lucky. There's your 2 cars. Taking a look at the aftermath. Square Hole drops down to 2. Star Cars drops down to 1. Still all 7 teams in the match. Saturday Morning will start us off. The randomized running order is up. Dinobot Slag takes position down at the end of the track, curbside again. This time Agent Zed gets to take a shot at Dinobot, and it does not go well. Dinobot flips over sideways. Could be the first elimination if it stays like that. Tax Dodge a nice solid hit and parks itself in position. Creature from the Block Lagoon got lucky last round, but not so good this time. Flipping over and going upside down off the track. Could it recover? Yes. Is it likely? No. The last car for Star Cars, Green Tomato, slams into position. Gotta stay alive. Wow, what a massive smash from Stubby. Double takedown, tax dodge, and Green Tomato both out. And this could be it for Star Cars if it stays like that. Udo Head's final car, the Porsche, slots into place. 3 cars backed up. Spike boots the Porsche off the track and it goes upside down. It's still connected to the action, so there's a chance it could recover, but Budo Heads also might be out of this match. Beaver E gets a nice undercut. Spike goes off the track, but makes an impressive recovery. Stubby getting pushed around a little bit. High Life gives Stubby a clobbering. Beaver E manages to not go underneath its teammate, and now High Life is curbside. And now it looks like a third team might be eliminated here. Trash Thrasher's in trouble. A gentle little nudge from Block Air. Doesn't really do any damage. Darkwing Duck and Roll firms up the line a little bit. But the line immediately broken by Beaver Muth, who sends Darkwing flying. Look at that, bouncing in fantastic recovery. Darkwing Duck hits a height of 6 on the way over to that recovery. And it looks like Agent Zed might be in trouble here. But after that recovery, Darkwing Duck looking pretty satisfied. And now the ramp is set up. Lucky Duck goes up, and I didn't really see what happened. Oh, wow. Couple of flips around. Perfect landing. What a recovery. Hits a 6 on the way, and then just skids all over the place, bounces around, messes with Darkwing Duck's cape. I don't like that, but good recovery. Impressive agility. TMN Turtle Shell ready to take that jump again. Does it with style, with grace, finesse. Manages a 7 on the way there, and then just bounces around, spins all over the place, but still comes out perfect. Beaverhammer has to take the jump of his teammate again and does a really great job of recovering. The Ducks and Turtles are impressive, but look at Beaverhammer hitting a 6 and then making just as impressive of a bouncing recovery to an upright position and keeping Beaverworks in business. That'll be the final car of round 3. A lot more eliminations in this round, 7 to be exact, and unbelievably, 1 from every single team. So that means that every team goes down 1, and for the teams that only had 1 left, well, they are done. Star Cars is out, Trash Thrashers and Budo Heads both out. Everybody else down to 1 less than they had in the last round as we head into round 4. Starting off with Beaverworks, sending down the Beaverhammer first this time. They won't have to take the jump. A nice little break for the hammer. Spike gets a hit, but only 60 grams compared to 100 of the hammer. And now Spike, curbside. High Life wrestles Spike off the track. Spike stays steady, spins around a lot. Goes right off of Evil Weevil, makes a nice recovery. Block Air gets rid of that little space on the track between the 2 vehicles, and now we got 3 backed up. Beaver E with the undercut, and High Life is taken down for Rolling Gold. Goes sideways. Not a very good chance of recovery right there. Somehow Block Air makes a recovery. Darkwing slams Beaver E underneath Beaverhammer. Beaverhammer goes a little bit off the track. Looks a little dangerous to me. Lucky Duck coming down after the previous duck. Beaverhammer thrown off the track almost completely. And Beavermuth annihilates the field. Ducks flying everywhere, but they both make miraculous recoveries. Darkwing Duck hitting a 6. Lucky Duck hitting a 7 on the way over. Wow, devastation, and unfortunately, Beaverworks is gonna lose one just from their own massive vehicle. Hit the Ducks from the back or ramp them in the front. They are putting on a show. TMN Turtle Shell continues the hijinks, slamming itself into the crates and making a perfect landing. Very steady, hits a 7, and just a nice solid dismount. And it looks like Saturday morning's got a couple of contenders here. That'll be the end of round 4. Looks like 2 eliminations in this round. We've still got 4 teams going, though. We got to get down to 3. Taking a look at the aftermath, Beaverworks goes down to 2, Rolling Gold down to 1, along with Square Hole. And Saturday Morning now in the lead at 3. Saturday Morning will start off round 5 with Spike. This team proving it's got some good agility. Although, as I say that, Spike does something kind of weird. Climbs up on top of Evil Weevil, tries to escape the track, but can't do it. And that does not look like a safe position. Especially not when Beavermouth comes down the track and smacks you around a bunch. And that is going to be it for Spike. Pushed over into the crates, cannot make a recovery. Beaverworks coming out swinging in this round, setting up that ramp early. Lucky Duck does not care. Lucky as can be, flipping over, landing on the track, spinning around, and even going forward. Got a little close there for a second, hits a 6. And then when it hits the track, goes sideways, but manages to bring it back around at the last second. And Roland Gold is breathing a sigh of relief. Block Air hits the ramp, it goes upside down, and that looks like it might be it. Square Hole is out of the match. Unless there is some sort of miracle, that is gonna do it. Darkwing Duck just showing off at this point, flies up into the safety area after multiple bounces. Hits a 6, doesn't phase it, perfect landing. Just fun to watch these kind of recoveries. Beaverhammer has to take the jump, and it doesn't go well this time. Lands over on the side, couple of bad bounces, and can't make it back over. Not gonna matter at this point, but might be something to keep in mind for Beaverworks in the semifinals. Darkwing Duck cape check, looks okay. Oh, we've seen it happen before. TMN Turtle Shell's luck runs out. Flips over, cannot quite make the recovery. It's a 7 on the way there, but then just kind of flops over on its side. Finally gassed. And right now it looks to me like Duck and Roll is the star of the show. Turtle Shell might not be able to do the things it used to do. Apparently it is duck season. 4 eliminations in that round, and that is going to take the teams down to a surprisingly even finish. Square Hole came close, but eliminated at the last minute. Beaverworks and Rolling Gold both had 1 left. And Saturday Morning lost 2 down to 1. Saturday Morning proved the most survivability, 38 points total, with the most cars surviving the longest. And these will be your 3 teams moving on to the semifinals. They'll join these other 3 teams. These are our 6 qualified teams so far. Check this out, everybody. The winner of the Junkyard Joust Custom Tournament is going to get this trophy, graciously provided by Starcore Industries. It lights up, it changes colors, it's pretty awesome. Thanks, Starcore Industries. Next week, get ready for the return of the Crimson Crashers. Boy, do they have a team this season. And then 2 weeks from now, look for the next custom match. Thank you so much to my patrons for making this show possible. If you would like to support the show, go check out the rewards, patreon.com/junkyardjoust. You can sponsor a car and help us keep the episodes coming. Thank you all for watching. See you next time on The Joust.